Hey there guys, gals, and non-binary pals, GM Potter here. Welcome to my channel where I talk about books and bookish things. I upload on Thursdays and most Tuesdays. And today, instead of going over one book, I thought we would go over 5. And these are the 5 best plot twists that I personally have read. There may be ones with bigger plot twists. There may be ones with more jaw-dropping plot twists, but these are the 5 that come to mind for me when I think about plot twists in a book, because we're talking about plots and plot points. No restraint on spoilers. You have been warned. So let's get into it. All right, in no particular order, we have The London Seance Society by Sarah Penner, author of The Lost Apothecary. And this book is about 352 pages in hardcover format. Came out in 2023. It's got 3.48 on Goodreads. And the Goodreads blurb is a spellbinding tale about 2 daring women who hunt for truth and justice in the perilous art of conjuring the dead. 1873, in an abandoned chateau on the outskirts of Paris, a dark seance is about to take place, led by acclaimed spiritualist Vaudeline Dallaire. Known worldwide for her talent in conjuring the spirits of murder victims to ascertain the identities of the people who killed them, she is highly sought after by widows and investigators alike. Lena Wicks has come to Paris to find answers about her sister's death, but to do so she must embrace the unknown and overcome her own logic-driven bias against the occult. When Vaudeline is beckoned to England to solve a high-profile murder, Lena accompanies her as an understudy. But as the women team up with the powerful men of London's exclusive seance society to solve a mystery, they begin to suspect that they are not merely out to solve a crime, but perhaps entangled in one themselves. So this book is dual point of view. We have first person and third person limited, that we have Lena Wicks, who is told in third person limited, and then we have Mr. Morley, who's told in first person. You first suspect that they're actually intertwined at about the 30-ish% mark. Mr. Morley is the one who contacts Vaudeline to get her from Paris to London to help find the murderer of the London Seance Society. He's been murdered on the same night that Lena's sister was murdered. And the big twist on this one is at about the 75% mark, I think, that Mr. Morley not only killed his boss, but killed Lena's sister as well, to cover up for the fact that they're all frauds. Every single one of them is, while Vaudeline and Lena's sister are doing it for real and actually conjuring spirits and like talking to the dead and being real spiritualists, the London Seance Society is just a money-grubbing fraud. And they do things with like magic tricks and like rapping on tables and like woo, like that kind of bullshit. We find out that her sister, Lena's sister, was investigating them to try and figure out evidence to bring against them in court, and pretending to be interested in them. And we find out that Mr. Morley has known this whole time that's why he killed her, is he pretended to be Vaudeline and tell her to do this. And Vaudeline's like, I never did that. And Lena is like, you're lying, you're a liar. How can I ever trust you again? I thought I loved you. And it's all a ruse, that Mr. Morley has orchestrated all of this. And I remember reading this book and I just shut the book and like my mouth just hung open. And I was like, oh my God, did I just read that? Did I really just read that? Like, this book for me is 5 of 5 stars. This is one I'm hanging on to. I will be returning to it because this is one of those books, usually with a mystery, I can figure out who it is before the book actually reveals it. I read this one twice now. Even on the second reading, I'm like, everything's there, but I still can't believe I didn't see it coming. So this one, 5 of 5 stars, absolutely loved it. London Seance Society, Sarah Penner, great plot twist. Number 2 is Of Earthly Delights by Goldie Moldavsky, author of The Mary Shelley Club, which I thought was brilliant. I'm working my way through her back catalog because I read this one and it wrecked me in the best possible way. And another 5 of 5 stars. This one has a 4.2 on Goodreads. It came out May 13th of 2025. I got this one as an ARC, so I got to read it ahead of time in exchange for my review. And the Goodreads blurb is a contemporary YA Gothic romance about a dark family secret, a lush, mysterious garden, and a love that never dies. From New York Times bestselling author Goldie Moldavsky. Aspiring author Rose Pauley is not happy moving from her home in New York City right before her senior year of high school. But on her first miserable day in Connecticut, she meets Hart Hargrove, and the two share an immediate, undeniable connection. Hart introduces Rose to his slice of paradise, an immense private garden nestled behind the Hargrove family mansion. There, the two of them spend a fever dream of a summer together, but as their bond blossoms into love, Rose can't shake the feeling that all is not as it seems. When Rose uncovers the truth about the garden, she's forced to question how genuine her love story truly is. But Hart can't bear to lose Rose, and he'll stop at nothing to save their relationship. Posing haunting questions about beauty and desire, this atmospheric and darkly romantic tale that enthralls. This is an atmospheric and darkly romantic tale that will enthrall readers. So, like I said, I got this one as an ARC. Thank you so much to NetGalley, the publisher, and the author for giving me a copy of this in exchange for my honest review. The big twist happens at about the halfway point. Like, it happens early in the book. Like, most twists are, like, towards the end of the book. This one happens, like, at, like, the 45% mark. Oh my god. Like, my mouth hung open. I was reading this on my Kindle, and I devoured this in one sitting. First of all, it's 336 pages in hardcover. I was reading it on my Kindle in the Kindle edition. I read this over the course of a 6-hour dog sit. Like, I just devoured this book. Like, the dog's parents, like, the two dogs, their parents were going to a Stars hockey game here in Dallas, and I was watching them while they were at the hockey game, and I opened this up, I read it, I'm like, I'll get maybe 25% through, halfway through. This is the first Goldie Moldavsky book I've read, and I've since read 2 others, and one was brilliant, one was okay. I just devoured it, because I got to that twist at the halfway point. It's like 45% through, you get to the twist, and I had to know more. Because Rose, she gets into a car accident in this version, and goes through life, and he's trying to figure it out, and he's trying to do all this, that, and the other. Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. So the garden at the center of the hedge maze grants a wish, but every wish has a price. And Goldie Moldavsky does a beautiful thing. She kills off our female main character. Like, the book is told through her point of view first, and then is told through his point of view, and then it's told through her point of view again. At the very end, the last chapter is in her point of view. She dies. She gets into a car accident, and Hart is destroyed. He's like, I'm not going to go to college. I'm not going to live. I'm not going to do this, that, or the other. And he's like, I'm going to make a wish to bring her back, to reset the clock. And his sister wanted to forget the events of something, but instead she remembers everything. She forgot the events that she wanted to forget, but as a price, she remembers everything else, including all the other times he's done this. It's been multiple times that Rose has, and he's bargained with the garden to bring her back, and each time they get less and less time. That in every timeline she dies, in every timeline he finds her. And I thought it was weird that they have this undeniable connection. And when I was reading the book, the first point, she's like, you haven't asked me any questions about myself. I don't want to date you. And it's like, he hasn't asked her any questions because he knows her. And he knows all of her answers. This book destroyed me. And then the last chapter is them meeting again. Because his sister tries to burn down the garden. And he gets his wish in just in the nick of time, and he goes back, and they meet at the gas station. She's getting some snacks after running away from a fight with her dad, and he's there to get a slushie on his way to a party. And it's just, this book, oh my goodness, this book. I've ordered this book, as I'm filming this, it's the day it comes out. And this book was utterly, brilliantly heartbreaking in the best possible way. It is truly a Gothic novel. Like, Gothic novels are atmospheric, and they're haunting, and there's blah, blah. Like, this one is one of my favorite books. Like, Goldie Moldavsky, with this one book, has become an instant buy author for me. Like, she comes out with a book, I'm going to buy it, I'm going to read it. With this one book, she did that. Next, we have, on the more lighthearted side, like I said, this is in no particular order. This is just the order that they came to me in my head. We have Starter Villain by John Scalzi, which is another one that I reviewed on this channel. And this one has a 4.13 on Goodreads. It came out in 2023. It is quite possibly my favorite John Scalzi novel that he's written, and he is an instant buy author for me. Like, he comes out with a book. I get the audiobook because they're pretty much always narrated by Will Wheaton, and he does a phenomenal job. Like, His earlier audiobook narrations are good, but he's definitely matured and like a fine wine with time come to be best. So, to the Goodreads blurb. Inheriting your uncle's supervillain business is more complicated than you might think, particularly when you discover who's running the place. Charlie's life is going nowhere fast. A divorce substitutes you living with his cat in a house. His siblings want to sell. All he wants is to open a pub downtown, if only the bank will approve his loan. Then his long-lost Uncle Jake dies and leaves his supervillain business, complete with all island volcano lair, to Charlie. But becoming a supervillain isn't all giant laser death rays and lava pits. Jake had enemies, and now they're coming after Charlie. His uncle might have been a stand-up, old-fashioned kind of villain, but these are the real thing, rich, soulless predators backed by multinational corporations and venture capital. It's up to Charlie to win the war his uncle started against the League of Supervillains. Unionized dolphins, hyper-intelligent talking spy cats, and a terrifying henchperson at his side, going bad is starting to look pretty good. In this dog-eat world, be a cat. This book is absolutely laugh-out-loud hilarious. And the whole premise, right, I just went over the premise, is that his uncle is dead and left him in this super villainy thing. His uncle's not dead. His uncle faked his death, including at the wake, at the funeral, someone stabbing the corpse and like checking. He's not dead. He's not actually dead. He faked it. He faked it really well. The cats are running the whole operation. They're all the clone cats, and they have portfolios of finance, and the dolphins are unionized, and he's in over his head in a major way. His uncle's not dead, and at the end of the book he ends up with the house that he wanted, that his cat bought it for him, and the pub. That's it. That's what you get. You inherited millions and billions of dollars, but it's tied up in assets. None of it's liquid, so you're not actually wealthy. And in fact, if you tried to liquidate everything, you'd have a lot less than what it's valued at, because you're flooding the market with all of this stuff. It's absolutely brilliant. But he gets his happy ending. He gets his bar, and he gets his cats, and he gets to live in the house that he wanted to live in. That was his dad's house, and it's so sweet. But the moment his uncle comes back, it's like, what? I thought he was going to be the villain. No, his uncle's been alive this whole time, and he's like, I'm sorry, I have to take all of this money and this wealth and this power and this status away from you and take it back. And sorry. It was so good, though. It was so good. I loved the bit about the cats. When the cats were revealed to be super highly intelligent talking cats, I went into this one blind, so I didn't know that was coming. But this one is a 5 of 5 stars. So for this one, we're kicking it old school. We have Sir Gawain and the Green Knight, a new verse translation by W.S. Merwin as the translator. This one is a 4.05 on Goodreads. This one, for me, should always be on the list of plot twists in literature, because this one is from, I don't know, the 5th century or something is when the story originates. It's an old story, and the plot twist is just blew everybody's mind at the time it came out. So, it's a Goodreads blurb. A splendid new translation of the classic Arthurian tale of enchantment, adventure, and romance presented alongside the original Middle English text. It is the height of Christmas and New Year's revelry when an enormous knight with brilliant green clothes and skin descends upon King Arthur's court. He presents a sinister, there's a word missing here, he presents a sinister bargain. He will endure a blow of the axe to his neck without offering any resistance, but whoever gives the blow must promise to take the same in exactly a year and a day's time. So the young Gawain quickly rises to the challenge, and the poem tells of the adventures he finds, and almost irresistible seduction, shockingly brutal hunts, and terrifyingly powerful villains as he endeavors to fulfill his promise. Capturing the pace, impact, and richly alliterative language of the original text, W.S. Merwin has imparted a new immediacy to the spellbinding narrative written centuries ago by a poet whose name is now unknown, lost to time. The Green Knight, Merwin notes in his, we must seem to recognize him, his splendor, the awe that surrounds him, his menace and his grace, without being able to place him. We will never know who the Green Knight is except in our own response to him. The Green Knight comes, and like there was a movie, and I loved the movie. It was so good, but it doesn't tell the whole story. It cuts off literally before the story really gets going, before the twist. Like, it's like you knew the story. So he meets this guy, this king, and the king's wife keeps trying to seduce him, and blah blah blah. And he finally goes to the Green Knight, and the big reveal in Middle English literature is that the king that took him in and nursed him back to health and did all of these things, and whose wife tried to seduce him with the king's knowledge, is the Green Knight. Like, imagine being a peasant in Middle England, and you get this twist. Like, imagine the shock and the awe of a plot twist that's like, oh my god, it was him the whole time. This one is like, I put this as one of the biggest plot twists in literature. Definitely in medieval literature, definitely in Arthurian legends, the biggest plot twist. This is my favorite of the Arthurian legends because I love Sir Gawain. He betrays the king who took him in, who is actually the Green Knight, and spends the rest of his days trying to make up for it. Like, the movie with Dev Patel was really good. It captures the essence of the story and the otherworldliness, but it didn't do the ending. It didn't do the ending. And it's like, what the hell? Like, I was so, like, I'm like, okay, we're getting into it. We're getting into it. We're getting into it. And then the movie just kind of ends. And it's like, oh, okay. Like, the movie was so good until it stopped. And it doesn't end. It just stops. Mini rant over. This book, this story, one of the greatest literary plot twists that there is, I think, in my humble, correct opinion. 5 of 5 stars. Alrighty, and last, and in no way least, we have Mexican Gothic by Silvia Moreno Garcia. This one has a 3.67 on Goodreads. It came out in 2020. This was my first venture into her writing, and oh my god, the twist to the Goodreads blurb. After receiving a frantic letter from her newlywed cousin begging for someone to save her from a mysterious doom, Noemi heads to High Place, a distant house in the Mexican countryside. She's not sure what she will find. Her cousin's husband, a handsome Englishman, is a stranger, and Noemi knows little about the region. Noemi is an unlikely rescuer. She's a glamorous debutante, and her chic gowns and perfect red lipstick are more suited for cocktail parties than amateur sleuthing. But she's also tough and smart, with an indomitable will, and she is not afraid. Not of her cousin's new husband, who is both menacing and alluring, not of his father, an ancient patriarch who seems to be fascinated by Noemi, not even by the house itself, which begins to invade Noemi's dreams with visions of blood and doom. Her only ally is the inhospitable abode is the family's youngest son. Shy and gentle, he seems to want to help Noemi, but he also might be hiding a dark knowledge of his family's past. For there are secrets behind the walls of High Place. The family's once colossal wealth and fading mining empire kept them from prying eyes, but as Noemi digs deeper, she unearths stories of violence and madness, and Noemi, mesmerized by the terrifying yet seductive world of High Place, may soon find it impossible to ever leave this enigmatic house behind. I love this book. I absolutely adore this book. It made my top 5 of the year I read it, or was it top 10? I don't remember. It was in the top of the books I read the year I read this book. It's mushrooms. Like, okay, so the gentle, shy son that's her only ally is an amateur mycologist. Like, he forages for mushrooms, and he spore prints mushrooms, and he's very into mushrooms. And she's like, oh, that's cute. He's got a special interest. That's cute. That's sweet. It's a kind of mushroom that keeps them alive forever. That they have to transfer their brain into that of a new person, and to keep the patriarch literally is the patriarch of the family. He is, in essence, the brain of, like, the hive mind brain, the mushroom brain center of the guy who came here from England hundreds of years ago. Maybe not hundreds, maybe 800 years ago. And they keep having to transfer consciousness into new people. And they want her cousin to be there until she shows up, and they're like, wait, she's better. And it's like, ooh. It's just chilling. And all of this talk about mushrooms, and he's talking about how mushrooms and fungus can, like, subvert creatures, that there are fungal infections that like ants have that make them act against their own interests and do things, and it's being controlled. And it's like, okay, it's a weird thing to talk about when we're having a close moment. But it was him trying to warn her the whole time. And it's just absolutely brilliant. I love this book. This one is another 5 of 5 stars. It is not the bottom of the top 5 because this one, the twist was like, okay, like I finished reading this book. I wrote my review. I recorded my review. And then I went back and read the book again. And I'm like, yeah, it's all there. It's all there. It's all there. So those are my top 5 in no particular order, because how can I rank these? Best plot twists. Have you read The London Sand Society? Have you read Of Earthly Delights? I know as of filming this, it just came out. Starter Villains, Sir Gawain and the Green Knight, or have you read Mexican Gothic? Have you read all 5? I would love to know what you thought of these plot twists. What is a book you read that had an absolutely phenomenal plot twist that just left you speechless, but wasn't a trick of lazy writing that they're like, have a plot twist, that it was actually telegraphed and foreshadowed and built into the story? What is a good plot twist? Don't tell me what the plot twist is, but tell me a book that had a good plot twist. Because these 5, I just want more. I want more good plot twists. Let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.